Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 41st Barringer Award ceremony. Tonight, we gather to celebrate excellence and to honor a legacy, one that continues to shape who we are and the institution that we aspire to be. The Barringer Award is named in honor of Dr. Bob Barringer, a pioneering leader of community college education and Brookdale Community College's third president. Dr. Barringer's life was defined by service, integrity, and an unwavering belief in the transformative power of education. From his early days as a high school teacher and a coach to becoming the youngest president in the nation at just age 29, he led with vision and humility. Over the course of his distinguished career, he served multiple institutions, eventually becoming a trusted interim president, stepping into challenging moments for colleges across the country with courage, steadiness, and compassion. He did this not for recognition, but because he believed deeply in the people and in the mission of community colleges to open doors to opportunity. Those who knew him best would tell you that what mattered to Bob the most were the lives that he touched, the students and the colleagues who were better because of his presence. He was always a man of deep personal character, someone whose joy of life endured even through the challenges of Parkinson's disease. He lived fully, led boldly, and cared deeply. It's in this spirit that we present the Barringer Awards, recognizing members of our community who embody the very values Dr. Barringer exemplified and the values that we hold dear to Brookdale Community College: compassion, collaboration, creativity, and courage. Tonight's honorees reflect those ideals in powerful ways. Professor Kathy Blackburn, whose compassion for students and commitment to their voices reminds us that education is at its core our connection and understanding. Dean Jane Edmond, whose dedicated leadership in health sciences strengthens pathways that lead our students into vital, life-changing professions. Ed Johnson, Executive Director of Government Affairs and Community Relations, whose courage and vision help to build partnerships that sustain and advance our mission beyond campus and into the communities that we serve. And Professor and Assistant Dean Michelle Zuppe, whose creativity and leadership continue to inspire innovation in teaching, learning, and student success. Each of you carries forward Dr. Barringer's legacy through your commitment to others, your innovative spirit, and your willingness to lead with purpose and heart. Tonight we celebrate you, we thank you, and we are proud to honor your contributions to Brookdale and to the lives of our students. Congratulations to our 2026 Barringer Award recipients. I'd like to, before I relinquish the mic and turn it over to our Master of Ceremonies, two things very quickly. I'd like to give special thanks, if everyone could give a round of applause, to the Barringer Award Selection Committee who dedicated their time in selecting these outstanding candidates. And for those of you who are either brand new to this space or who might be returning here after a while away, you probably recognize that this is not usually the way that this room looks. So please give a round of applause to the events team for all their hard work in putting the program together. And if I could ask all of our previous Barringer Award recipients, please stand and be recognized by the group. Welcome back. And one last thing, Jeff, before I turn it over, thank you so much for agreeing to be the Master of Ceremonies. Jeff, I think we're in for some entertainment, as those of you who know Jeff. There are proclamations up here from members of our Senate and Assembly. And for each one of these, I'm not going to read them off, but they are customized for each one of our recipients. So from Senator Gopal, from Assemblywoman Margie Donlin and Assemblywoman Luann Peter Paul, these proclamations are here for you, honorees. After we give the award, we'll also make sure that we give a copy of the proclamation to you. Congratulations to all Barringer Award winners. And as Jeff comes up, please everyone raise a glass. And we're going to offer a toast for our Barringer recipients. Congratulations.
Chin chin.
Thank you.
Well, well, well. Here we are again. You invited me back. Some people never learn. It's great to be home. That's what it feels like. Where did David go? Because, okay. Before you get away, young man, I just wanted to say, I was reading the text of what you said in front of the legislature, and this thought filled me when I read it. When I read the choice of words, I realized he brought us with him. I had that very profound and true sense that the words he chose signaled to us that we were with him, and to the legislature who we were. And not just who we were, but even better, that he's one of us. And that felt good. And I just wanted you to know that. And then, just as Dr. Stout thinks he can relax, feels his shoulders go down a little bit, have a little rubber chicken, right? He sits down, he looks up, and who does he see on stage? My God, he thinks. How many things must have gone sideways for this guy to be running the show? Well, to tell you the truth, David, I don't know how many things went wrong, but I'm pretty sure it must have been a few. And yet, here we are. What do you say we celebrate? What do you say we recognize? What do you say we tip our hats to 4 Brookdalians, 4 of our very, very best? You good with that? Yes. I thought you might be. All right. Now, my job, I should explain, because it took me a little while to grasp it. Like, we just want you to introduce the introducer. So, well, I don't know the introducer. I kind of, no, you're the introducer. So I'll do the best I can, but I got to admit, sometimes it's going to, I might leak over into some of my personal thoughts here and there. So now, Susan Scarangella is here to introduce our next recipient, our first recipient. No, wait, no, that's wrong. Just testing you. Very good. Anyway. All right. Our first Barringer Award recipient will be presented by Barbara Barron, a previous award winner herself and a longtime chair of Brookdale's speech department. And this presented me with a conundrum, because I've known Barbara for over 30 years. I met her actually in France. She came with Kathy once, and they visited me when I was there with Covered in Babies. And that was my introduction to her. And it wasn't like, it sounds like I need to go to the doctor. My God, he's covered in babies. No, we had these babies, and they were around us a lot. So that's when I met her. However, I've known Kathy for 56 years. I met her in 1970, right? So that means, as I'm introducing Barbara, there is a torrent of stories elbowing them each out of the way, trying to get to the front to tell a story about Kathy Blackburn. No, you're just supposed to talk about the, So, all right, I'm going to be an adult here and exercise some kind of discipline and get on with the task of introducing the introducer, Barbara. You know what? One story. So, went to high school with Kathy, and she was a scholar, ferocious, quietly determined scholar. It was kind of when I first saw people really care about what they were learning. Right? As Joe and I went dancing out the door to go smoke in the woods or something, right? So she worked so hard. She belonged to all these clubs. She did theater. She became president of the class, and as a reward for her dedication, they gave her the post of doing the morning announcements, right? Which is kind of a big deal. Back then it was like the voice of God, came down on you, right? And she was really good at it too. And the thing about her presentation was, even if you were a little thug, you kind of went, what? Maybe we could be civilized too, right? She gave you that sort of hope. Then, at the end of the announcements came the part where she had to call the people who were being requested by the vice principal to come immediately to the office for some sort of problematic situation. And, well, here's the thing of it. Her brother was often on the list. My father would call this God's sense of humor, right? You work and work and work, and what happens? So, but here's the thing. She could have been resentful. You never heard that in her voice. You could maybe hear the little lilt of a shaking head, and she never knew if he was going to be on the list. He might not. It was a minefield that she had to get through every morning. But, she never held it over him. I don't know. I never heard her bring it up. I'm the one that always brings it up. And it's because she has a really big heart for lots of people, including guys like Joe Blatz, my best buddy, and me, right? And we see that in the way she teaches, in the way she speaks to her students. It's quite extraordinary. So, with that said, may I please bring up Professor Barbara Barron. Where are you?
Shaking my head, Jeff. Okay. Does anyone else want to follow that? Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for the intro. I am Barbara Barron, and I have to tell you, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here on this night, celebrating our very dear friend and colleague, and being able to share just a little bit about her with you, and tell you why she should be one of the recipients tonight, and also that she's in really great company. In 1984, I was a learning assistant starting my second year here. That's really hard for me because I usually lie about my age, but now you all know. And I was so excited. A new learning assistant is coming. I'm going to show her the ropes and tell her everything that I need to do and show her the PAC and everything she has to do. But I didn't know that she had spent so much time here and knew way more about Brookdale than I knew from the start. She's what we call Brookdale engineered. She was one of us. She rose through the ranks. She was graduated here. And Kathy comes from a family of 6. Many of her family members are right there. And 5 of the 6 all attended Brookdale College. So how about that for a start, right? She married a great guy, and he also taught ESL here, and so her entire family is somehow enmeshed in Brookdale. But she majored in speech and theater, as Jeff led on, and she was on the stage, behind the scenes, and did so many things. Her roots in higher education really started at Brookdale, and when she was graduated here, she went on to Monmouth University for her bachelor's degree, and then Rutgers University for her master's degree. And here, 41 years later, we've come full circle to celebrate Kathy. Dr. Stout told you a little bit about the Barringer Award, and the Barringer Award, it's crazy, but I was hired by Dr. Barringer. He would sit down and meet every one of us personally and really welcome us to the college, and it was a day I would never forget. But that honor, so often we say the Barringer Award, really talks about service for our students, service to the institution, how you affect the community, and how you act as a leader in this college. And Kathy checks all of those boxes during her tenure at the college. Yes, she started as a learning assistant, but when she was hired, she was also hired to be the forensics coach. And for those of you that think it might just be about autopsies, it's really intercollegiate speech and debate. And she oversaw our award-winning team for 11 years. Her students competed both locally, nationally, and internationally. She took them everywhere from Boston to West Virginia, out into the sticks in the college's 16-passenger van. Even though she hated driving over bridges and pretty much still does, somehow she made it happen. And during that time, she hosted tournaments for the entire Northeast at Brookdale. She was a leadership in every way, and she inspired students to really find their voices. She's a huge a fierce advocate for civil dialogue and for people finding her voice, and she brings that not only to her students on the team, but to her classes every day. She also founded the International Forensics Association, which was an organization that encompassed up to 35, now 45 colleges later. They're still in existence. And she was the vice president for 10 years, breaking out of our borders and hosting our students to go and compete internationally against other colleges from the US and from around the world, and just to provide that opportunity. And for a community college, some of those students would never, ever have found themselves. Some hadn't even ever gone to New York. But Kathy was taking them across the pond all over to parts unknown, and it was an amazing opportunity for them. In the summer, she took her speech and debate students to Arizona State University so that they could learn Lincoln Douglas debate. And back home, she went to every single open house at the college, recruiting students not only for the team, but to also be speech and theater majors. Her contributions are just unending because she has sat on, in 41 years, countless committees, most notably her work with the Gen Ed Committee, where she has written and rewritten policy and regulations for both the college and for the state, and has been a huge advocate on why the basic Gen Ed courses are so very important to make well-rounded students. And she passes that information on to all the new faculty who come in, and is an amazing inspiration. She's written and revised our curriculum countless times. She changed the name of our department from speech to speech communication, because that's what they do nationally. She has served in countless ways to help our colleagues advance. She sat as the president of the college-wide promotion committee, which isn't the easiest job on the planet to do. She has, for 25 plus years, presented at state and national conferences, sharing pedagogy, coming back and disseminating that information to us. She was awarded a sabbatical once to study speech anxiety to help our students overcome the fear, of standing in front of audiences, and helped us with all kinds of strategies in the classroom. She's an amazing, you heard Jeff say, she's an amazing teacher. But when I was in graduate school, I had a professor that set me up with an internship with Kathy to student teach on the college level. I sat in her classes for an entire summer in the morning, processed what she did, and then she allowed me to teach her classes at night. We dual. It was the best education I ever had to be able to be ready to teach the students at Brookdale, and I think it's something we should readdress. Kathy is amazing. She spent hours, and she started the Speech Communication Disorders program. She's the first one to sign up for assessment projects, whether it's for our department or cross-department collaborations with others. She'll teach at any campus, anytime, anywhere, even though she lives closer to this campus than probably anybody that works on this campus, right? And she's always willing to step up, overload a class if we're in a jam. She served as interim chair. She'll take a last-minute class and if anyone has an emergency. Kathy Blackburn is an incredible human being. She is wicked smart, as Jeff told you, and she's so very, very, very bright and wildly funny. She has a great sense of humor. She keeps us laughing all the time. And outside of the college, she's been a longtime member of Tower Hill Presbyterian. She has this great love for the elderly. She puts together luncheons and activities for people who don't have a whole lot of people checking in on them. And she is someone who reads more than anyone I know. And for 20 years, she has overseen a book club that some of us who teach here are involved in, and some community people. 40 years of service to this college, helping students to succeed, contributing to institutional leadership, and impacting the community in so many ways. Kathy is a great teacher. She's a trusted friend. She's a respected colleague from any and all who know her. She's a master gardener. She's a great wife, sister, aunt, daughter, someone I'm so proud to call a friend. So please join me in honoring Professor Kathy Blackburn.
Get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need?
I use that Beatles song because it is meaningful, right? I get a little help from my friends. Oh my gosh, I've gotten so much help from my friends here at Brookdale. And it's amazing I have any friends left. Let me tell you why. If you had taught for 4 decades public speaking and watched over thousands and thousands of 5 to 7 minute researched, informative, persuasive, and demonstration speeches, you would be what I am, which is a know-it-all. Who wants a know-it-all? I'm always saying something like, well, did you know? Have you read the paper? And, so I still have some friends left, partially because they are also know-it-alls, right? Barbara and Jeff and Nora, all of those people. But Brookdale has been such a wonderful place for me. It is 41 years as an employee. It was 3 years as a student. I just want to share a quick story about my student days. I was poor, as most students are, yes? And so I went to what we called co-op at that time, and I looked for a job. And on the notice board, there was a job at Monmouth College to do an archaeological dig that they were sponsoring. And I thought, oh my God, exciting. So I grabbed my sister Ann, who's sitting in the audience. Jeff was there, Joe, my whole family eventually joined us, but we got to go to Farmingdale and start an archaeological dig. So for me, that was the dream job. I loved getting dirty anyway, but you had to dig a pit, and you were beginning to try and unearth some of the treasures there. It was just thrilling. And about the 3rd week in, the head of the dig stopped at my pit and said, Kathy, this is a new recruit. He's from Monmouth College. I'm going to put him in your pit, teach him everything you know. As my father would say later, they met in a ditch and they got hitched. So we were married for 43 years. I taught him everything I knew, and he taught me a heck of a lot that he knew, and I miss him terribly. He passed away this August. His sister's here representing him, but he was a wonderful friend. And, again, you can kind of tell that Brookdale has provided me with so much support and love. So that's why this song is so wonderful. Do you need someone to love? We all do, and I love Brookdale. Thank you.
Yeah.
You've spoken before, haven't you? All right, and we're back. Now then, Susan Scarangella is here to introduce our next Barringer recipient. Curiously, just like Barbara and Kathy, Susan also spent several years in Larison Hall in this case, as my office mate in the speech lab. We laughed our heads off together. And then she ran off, just like all the others. She said, "Jeff, look, I'm sorry. This has been a blast, don't get me wrong. And I don't know if you'll understand this, but I've got to be around some adults. like right away." And then she was gone. Poof. And now she's the administrator for our School of Health Sciences. Well, Susan, I hope you've learned your lesson. Please welcome Susan Scarangello. Why did I think you were there? I don't know.
Carol's joining me up here. Thank you, Jeff.
My pleasure.
As Jeff said, I am Susan Scarangello. I'm the administrator for the School of Health Sciences. I'm joined at the podium with Professor Carol Shadell, who is with the Respiratory Care Program, and we are honored to introduce the Barringer Award winner, Dr. Jane Edmond, Dean of the School of Health Sciences.
I love the fact that I can't see any of you because of the bright light, so it's perfect. But I would like to designate the next part of our presentation to Jane. Jane has been devoted to this place for about 3 decades to advancing academic excellence, student success, and community responsiveness to healthcare education. Jane's distinguished career at Brookdale began in 1991. I beat you by a year, Jane. As a member of the nursing faculty, I am not a nurse, just want you to know. Since then, she has demonstrated exceptional leadership, steadfast service, and an unwavering commitment to the Brookdale Community College mission. While serving on the nursing faculty, Jane's earned her EDD in educational leadership from Rowan University. In 2012, she was appointed Dean of Science and Health Science, later serving as Dean of the Health Science Institute following the 2016 reorganization. And in 2025, she was named Dean of Brookdale's newly established School of Health Sciences, assuming leadership of both credit and non-credit healthcare training programs. It's not just about nursing. Oh, sorry, it's a bias I have. I'm a respiratory therapist. Did I tell you that? Under Jane's leadership, Brookdale's nursing, radiologic technology, you go girl, and respiratory care degree programs and the dental radiologic certificate program have continued to meet rigorous national and state accreditation requirements, ensuring that graduates are fully prepared for licensure and practical and professional practice. Jane played a pivotal role in developing partnerships that have strengthened both education and workforce pathways. Her leadership has supported expanded clinical opportunities and articulation agreements with 4-year institutions. She was instrumental in the creation of the programs like the Nursing Bridge to Excellence Partnership and collaborative initiatives with organizations, including Visiting Nurse Association of Central Jersey, Monmouth Medical Center, and Parker Family Health Center. An exciting new development under Jane is the establishment of an AAS in dental hygiene degree with clinical experience at the new Parker Family Health Center's free dental clinic to be opened on Brookdale's Lincroft campus later this year. Jane has championed data-informed improvement, strengthened laboratory learning, supportive enrollment growth, and expanded the resources necessary for student achievement.
My turn again. Jane's impact on the whole School of Health Sciences is really reflected in how she navigated the COVID-19 shutdown, which I was talking to Dr. Stout today was 6 years ago, but it still feels like it just happened. During that time, her leadership was especially vital. She provided calm, steady guidance during some of the most challenging periods in healthcare education. She never wavered in her support of the students, of the faculty, or of the staff. Through her direction, health science students actually went back into clinical, they went back into the classroom ahead of the other students in the college, and they were able to maintain the academic quality that our programs are known for, and ensured our students remain on track. I'm missing my other part of my speech. So it's okay.
Sorry, don't have it.
Our students remained on track, they got licensed, and they went to work during COVID in the healthcare facilities in Monmouth County. Thank you, Kathy. Yay! So over the last 25 years, Jane has literally educated, nurtured, mentored a generation of exceptional healthcare professionals, most of whom still live and work in Monmouth County. It's a tribute to Brookdale and a tribute to the healthcare facilities around us. We would like to really thank the Barringer Award Selection Committee for recognizing Dr. Jane Edmond for her vision, her integrity, and her deep compassion in guiding Brookdale's health science programs. She is leaving a lasting mark on our students, on our colleagues, and on the broader community. On a personal note, Jane, thank you. We so appreciate everything that you have done for us. We will miss you terribly, and we hope that your days are filled with anything that makes you happy, reading all the books on your list, some wonderful travel, hanging out with the people that you love and who love you. So please join us up here as we honor you for your Barringer Award.
There is a season, turn, and a time for
Here's your proclamation, Jane.
Wow. I want to thank you so much for this incredible honor. Receiving the Barringer Award from Brookdale Community College is incredibly meaningful to me. When I first came to Brookdale as a nursing faculty, I'll admit, I knew absolutely nothing about community colleges. I actually thought I was going to be here for a year and then move on. Instead, that 1 year turned into 35, and somewhere along the way, this place changed me. What I came to understand through my colleagues, and especially through our students, is just how powerful the community college mission really is. This is a place of access, opportunity, and transformation. We meet students where they are, and we help them build futures they didn't even imagine. Brookdale has given me so much more than a career. It's given me the chance to grow as a teacher, a leader, and a person. I want to thank the incredible people I've had the honor of working with. Our office staff and faculty members are the heart of the School of Health Sciences. You keep everything moving, you support our students, and you make this work possible. And I'm very grateful to you. The fact that this nomination comes from my colleagues, who I respect so deeply, just makes it even more special. To the wonderful group affectionately known only among ourselves as the Deans and Bill, led by Dr. Lynch, thank you for the support, the challenges, and the camaraderie that truly bring joy to this work. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank my family. You have listened and stood by me through long hours and difficult moments. You've heard more than your fair share about the challenges of the day, and your encouragement has carried me through. Thank you, Brookdale, for taking a chance on me all those years ago, and for giving me opportunity to grow into work that I truly love. I am truly honored to receive this award. Thank you all.
And we're back. Right then, Kelly Sanders, Brookdale's supervisor of conference services, of which we're enjoying some right now, I believe. Thank you. Will be introducing our next Barringer Award winner, Ed Johnson. But if I may, Kelly, little Ed story. So I used to teach quite a bit down at Long Branch, and Ed was in charge at that time, right? And the first few classes I taught, I don't know what it was. It always seemed like there was something that would send me running to his office to ask for something was or something wasn't. And I would open the door, and of course, he's a busy man. He's running the joint, right? And I would go in with, you know, how it is 90 seconds before it goes, I don't have any, blah, blah, blah. And here's what he would do. Here's what I remember. He would, no matter what he was doing, he would sort of turn towards me, lace his fingers, smile at me, and he would say, "Yes, Jeff, what can I do for you today?" Never a note, not a mote of annoyance in his voice. Rather, in fact, he greeted me as if we had some kind of appointment that he was looking forward to, right? It's just extraordinary. The other thing that I remember is that I instantly forgot why the hell I had walked in there in the first place. It happened over and over again. He'd raise his eyebrows expectantly, waiting for me to state my business, and I'd say, huh? What do I want? Well, I guess it couldn't have been that important. And he'd just go, okay then, Jeff. Good to see you. And I'd wander back out, never once remembering what I'd wanted, nor really caring, actually. I'm telling you, this guy, he put the hip in hypnotize. I was just, I didn't care about magic markers and whiteboard anymore. I don't know, there was something, you know. So I'd walk out of there, and it was like some little weight had been lifted off of my shoulders. By the way, I totally stole the line, and I use it with my students all the time. I always say, like, well, hello, Frank. How may I assist you today? The magic of it is, it not only sets them at ease, there's something about just the act of it that sets me at ease too, right? So thank you for that, Ed. Works like a charm. All right. Kelly Sanders, where are you? Where are you, Kelly? All right. Come on up. Yes, it is your turn.
Oh, your tie, it looks wonderful, Kathy. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Sanders, and Jeff said, I'm supervisor of conference services, and along with my colleague Yvette Krupa, administrator for governmental affairs and community relations. Tonight, we have the privilege of honoring Executive Director Mr. Ed Johnson, a leader who truly embodies the spirit of Bob Barringer and the excellence in education this award represents. Yvette, who works closely with Ed, captured his impact beautifully in her nomination. She wrote that she witnessed his steadfast commitment to Brookdale and its students. He continually champions our programs, advocates for funding and new initiatives, and finds creative, forward-thinking ways to advance the college's mission. She also shared that whether Ed is building relationships in our local community or representing Brookdale on international stages, he approaches every effort with humility, purpose, and an unwavering focus on what is best for the college. That's the Ed we know. Steady, thoughtful, and always leading with purpose. As for me, I like to say that some people brighten a room when they walk into it. Ed brightens the whole building. He did so by winning the ugly sweater contest as well. So I first met Ed and his husband Jeff over 20 years ago, back when he served as mayor of my hometown, Asbury Park. Now, even then, he had that rare combination of warmth, vision, and the ability to make you feel like your voice mattered. My nomination for Ed was, let's just say, longer than a semester syllabus. So tonight, I will share just the highlights. Opening doors and opening minds, dedicated to the unconditional elevation of our students and the community at large, local and global legislative presence with courage and care, a friendly smile, humble and approachable, smooth operator, and future best-selling author of the novel Brook Tales. Ed is the kind of leader who never seeks the spotlight, yet somehow always becomes the reason the spotlight feels warmer. He's the person who asks how you're doing and then actually listens. He's the one who sees potential in people before they see it in themselves. And he reminds us that education isn't about just the information. It's about transformation. His leadership has opened doors for students who didn't even know those doors existed. He founded the first Wilbur Ray Scholars Institute, where awardees gained real-time knowledge through educational lectures and outings to our partner institutions, as well as Ivy League institutions in New Jersey. Ed always handles his business with a calm, steady presence that makes the rest of us wonder if he has a secret meditation bunker hidden somewhere on campus. So tonight, we celebrate not just what Ed has accomplished, but who he is, a mentor, a visionary, a community builder, a friend. Ed, your work strengthens our institution, broadens our reach, and deepens our impact in ways that will last far beyond any one of us. You make Brookdale better. You make all of us better. On behalf of everyone here, we want to thank the Barringer Award Committee as well to congratulate you on this well-deserved honor, and we celebrate you, Ed. Come on up and get your award, brother.
Come on, show 'em what you worth. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, you're gonna leave 'em.
Thank you so much. You know, Kelly, there's a old saying in politics that no one can see you when you stand next to the sun. So that hat. So, thank you. Thank you so much. I am deeply honored by this award, and I'd like to wish congratulations to the class of 2026 Barringer Award winners, Kathy, Jane, and Michelle. I stand in good company tonight with you, and to previous Barringer Award winners, I'm truly honored to join your ranks with this award. I clearly remember leaving this room on a dark December night with the ugliest sweater trophy clutched like this, like I was running for a touchdown, and humming all the way home, thinking to myself, I've reached the pinnacle of my career. But this is really fantastic, and I can't tell you how thrilled I am. This weekend, I had the opportunity to go to Toledo, where my sister lives, and to visit with my 93-year-old father. We sort of play tag team in terms of visiting and caring for him, or I should say keeping up with him. So I told him about tonight in the Barringer Award, and he said, congratulations, Ed, I'm very proud of you, and you can accept the award on my behalf because this proves that we raised you right. So I, throughout the flights and, over the past couple of days, I thought about what I wanted to say tonight, and I think he gave it to me. It's all about family and team. And certainly he did. He always served my parents, my mother, my father, and my stepmother Gladys, certainly served as our role models in terms of reaching for your best, helping others, and really being your true self. I really need to stop and thank the one person that makes my everyday possible, and that's my husband, Jeff, who's here with me tonight. I know this year we're celebrating 31 years together. So, Jeff, there's a lot of people here in this room that are going to want to talk to you tonight with the one question is, how do you do it? But thank you so much. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the kick in the pants when I need it. And he also knows how to hold me down with holy water when I get out of hand. So it is really about all of the people that I have had the chance to work with and I continue to work with here at Brookdale that have brought me up to the stage tonight. And some are here in the house. I'm very excited that my Long Branch family is here, and that's where I started my career. This year, 20 years ago, I walked into the front door of Long Branch, and there was a group of individuals that had been there for a while. They accepted me with open arms, then broke me in, and then they believed in me, and they joined me in creating a model community center that was open to everyone. And while we chased students with opportunity, and we chased registrations and everything else, including raccoons, snakes, bats, birds, and that's all true, we really worked together and we built something great. Then I had the opportunity to move forward onto this office, who was held by an outstanding person, Webster Trammell. And that's a little bit scary. I remember I used to visit Webster in his office, and the phone would ring. And so I would just sit there in his 2 blue chairs, which I still have, and I would look around the room waiting for him, and he'd finally get off the phone and hang up, and he'd look me straight in the eye, and he said, "Not yet." So his encouragement along the way. When I took that office, I had a partner who joined me, Michelle, and we walked into offices that had not been opened in 4 or 5 years. And her belief in me, and I know when I stood in the room and I said, "This is what we're going to do." And she looked at me and she said, "Okay." And together, we built the foundation for the Governmental Affairs and Community Relations office. And so I'm so thankful for her belief and friendship and efforts. And my current team of the Governmental Affairs and Government Relations Office, Yvette and Thomas and Jorge, and I'd also have to mention Kai, who was with us before, who each and every day they come in and they take our efforts and our commitment and the love for what we do to the next level. And we challenge each other every single day. And then there's the 2 people that are with me also tonight, who I know when their telephone rings and they see it's Ed Johnson, Kelly and Jacqueline. I can see they're like, "What does he want now?" But it has really, truly been a journey of joy. It has been a challenge of wonderful adventure. There's a lot of the unknown still to go, which I'm looking forward to, and keeping one thing in mind, which is the one thing that no matter what I have done, where I've gone, and what I continue to do, that it is all for our students. They're the ones that were here tonight. They're the reason that I'm up here on the stage tonight, and they're the reasons I'm going to wake up excited, energized, and get out of bed tomorrow and do another day at Brookdale Community College. So thank you so much.
Joan Scocco. Joan Scocco is here to introduce our final Barringer Award recipient. She comes all the way from Brooklyn. We were also, it sounds like I'm just making shit up. We were office mates. I swear to you, I think that my office is like a crucible for leadership. Like, if you could get through that and come out the other side and still make sense, you know? Yeah, that's what I'll think. Joan comes to us by way of Brooklyn, and she, during our years together, happily ensconced in Larison Hall 307, she would teach me various Brooklynese expressions, like sandwich instead of sandwich. There were a lot of them, but my favorite one was I was going through this period where I just wasn't sleeping because I had this restless leg syndrome thing going on. And I was trying to explain it to her, and she was utterly flummoxed as to what I was talking about. And then finally she went, you got the Jimmy legs. And I can't, every time I hear her say that, it makes me laugh in my head. So, you know, so thank you for that, Joan. All right. My dear friend and colleague, longtime office mate, Dean of the Business and Humanities Division, Dr. Joan Scocco. Come on up here.
Thank you, Jeff, for not telling the untold stories. It is my honor and my privilege tonight to present this next and final Barringer Award among some very, very excellent company. I considered avoiding cheesy culinary metaphors, but be warned, I couldn't resist. When she came to Brookdale, she did not inherit a recipe, she wrote one from scratch. She didn't arrive and settle, she arrived and built. She built the culinary program from the ground up, created the hospitality management program, the new sports management program, and through her vision, a Bloomberg lab is being built. She also is a global ambassador for the college. She leads study abroad programs in Italy and recently hosted students from Denmark to Brookdale. A teacher, an innovator, a leader, that is just who she is. Her dedication is boundless. She gives freely of her time. She has no out-of-office message. She is always on, always thinking, always caring, and I have middle-of-the-night text messages to prove it. She has served on what I can only describe as an ambitious number of committees. In baking, she knows better than most of us, you can't fake the fundamentals. The chemistry either works or it doesn't. There are no shortcuts, no substitution. She is built exactly that way. Tireless and uncompromising, that is just who she is. I am truly blessed that I can say firsthand that if you are lucky enough to work alongside her, you are quite lucky. You learn quickly that she is loyal beyond words. In the letters of support that accompanied the nomination, Colleague after colleague said the same thing. She showed up without being asked. She mentored without being asked. She served tirelessly without being asked. If she is with you, she is all in. And there is no one better to have by your side. That is just who she is. There is, however, one thing that you should know going in, something that anyone who has worked with her already knows. This woman has no poker face. None whatsoever. If she disagrees or does not like something, you will know immediately. If the risotto isn't quite right, if something is not there yet, you will know. And she doesn't have to say a word. A roll of the eyes, a turn of the head, and you know exactly what is coming before she even opens her mouth. In 20 years, that face has lied to no one. I think her mother is here. Is Mom here, Miss Beche? I have a question. Was she always like this? Wait. But here's the thing about that kind of unabashed, unfiltered honesty. There is no one that you can count on more. Every smile, every nod, every moment of genuine pride for a student, for a colleague, for Brookdale, for her beautiful family, you know it's real every single time. That's just who she is. An innovator, a leader, a tireless and loyal colleague. Brookdale is richer, warmer, and a better place because she's part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present this award to the uncompromisingly real Professor, Assistant Dean, my friend, Michelle Zuppe.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My son picked this song. I let him. He just got married. I let him. Thank you, Joan. Thanks, everybody. This is humbling. I've been so pinching myself that I got this award. Wow, it is bright up here. I started as an adjunct. I had 3 kids. I saw an ad to teach a class in food. I'm like, I can do that. So I did it, and I fell in love. I'm like, this is great. And then 3 months later, they're like, you want to apply for full-time? I'm like, okay. I went to the interview, and they gave me what I was going to teach, culinary math. I'm like, what is that? So I got creative, and at the time, Johanna was the VP, and I pulled a pineapple out of my briefcase. And she said she wanted to hire me right then because no one else did that. And I took a knife to it, and there it was. After a year, I was department chair. And I've interjected myself into leadership ever since. And sometimes it's good. As she says, I don't have that face. One thing about I'm so proud of the culinary hospitality program. I can't tell you. I go into restaurant in Monmouth County. I annoy my family. I'm like, oh, I know the chef. I know this person. But we truly do. I've been doing it so long. And it's just amazing. One of my graduates is working in the bar. Katie. I'm overwhelmed on how proud I am. I got to travel. Where's Jan? Got to go to Scotland. I got to go to Denmark. I'm going to Italy for the 3rd time. Kurt, Joan, and now they let me be assistant dean, which has been amazing. But now I get to get bossy with even more people and so many of my business colleagues. It's been great, and it's such a new challenge, and Brookdale just gives me new challenges. And I absolutely love my job. I want to thank my family They're all here, putting up with me. You could imagine what my husband has to listen to. All right, if Joan thinks it's bad, you be him. But I thank you. I thank all of you for everything. My little grandbabies, my chefs. I can't thank you enough. Thanks, everybody.
The proclamation! Now it's become a bit. I can't give it to them. Well, we've done it again. Friends, family, kin, thank you for coming out to celebrate Brookdale's best among Brookdale's other best.